Oh, I want to ask you this slightly personal thing. Do you think...
Yes.
No, you see, this doesn't actually apply to you. Quite a lot of these questions don't apply to you.
Okay.
Could you have ever ended up...
I'll try and apply it to me, shall I?
Apply this question.
Shall I imagine I'm somewhere else?
Make something up.
Okay.
Do you think you could ever have ended up with a bloke that wasn't funny?
No, I don't think so. I think it's sort of crucial, actually.
Why?
Oh, God. Because... You mean actually funny or with a really good sense of humour?
Well, both, I would say your bloke is, frankly. Can be both.
I can't imagine ending up with someone who isn't in some way funny, no.
Have you married a funny bloke?
Yeah, he is funny. And I think what's most important is that you laugh at the same things, really. Because there's so many different types of comedy. You know, it's not just a question of us all having the same sense of humour about everything, you know. I think Eddie Izzard will perhaps marry someone that likes that surreal sort of, ooh, a fish, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sort of comedy. Yeah. Whereas obviously I've married a kind of man-hating feminist.
Excellent.
Old bag like myself.
I definitely was determined to marry a funny bloke. In fact, I had my eyes set on Rowan Atkinson.
Did you?
Yeah. How weird is that?
What? Yeah. Ooh.
And I decided that if only I could make him meet me, a bit like David Cassidy, I could also make him love me.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. And never know, because by the time I did meet him, I knew that would be absolutely the wrong person. But I did want a funny boy, because I just thought no one else will understand how being funny sometimes makes you quite sad at other times.
Yes.
So is that the same for you?
That's absolutely. Well, I think there's a real sort of complicity, and there's a sort of a shared language. It's just to kind of have that not having to explain to anyone why you think something is funny, and that slight level of slightly mad hilarity that basically exists in our household of sort of silliness. I think that to not have that question and to not have somebody go, ooh, which is a bit weird, has been great, actually.
I know for a fact that a lot of blokes fancy you a lot, and they fancy you as a bit of a bloke girl.
What's a bloke girl?
Well, they fancy you because, I can name 3 in my family, because they think they can have a really great time with you and they wouldn't have to alter anything.
Yeah, it's quite flattering, isn't it?
It's flattering. It's also slightly scary because they might not do the looking after bit.
I think, you see, that's the side of it that I'd be flattered that they're being nice to me.
Would you?
Yeah, I would be flattered. Oh, come on, not that flattered.
You've married a fantastic, funny man. Could you ever have imagined being in a relationship with somebody that wasn't funny?
It can go both ways, I suppose. You know, I know that some people do prefer the audience. They only want to be the only funny one in the relationship. I love it that I've got someone that really keeps me on my toes and constantly makes me laugh, actually. And then also kind of annoys me because they kind of take the baton much further, and I think, oh, gosh, I thought of that.
So maybe it sharpens you up a bit.
Oh, it does, a lot. I suppose people always assume that, you know, oh, you make each other laugh means that you're childish. And I think there's a big difference between childish and childlike. I think remaining childlike is a great asset, actually, particularly if you are a performer. You know, to remember how you saw the world as a child is no bad thing for a creative person. And it's such a bond in a relationship. I mean, it really is. You know, you hit the hard times, and if you actually can still make each other laugh, I think that's an incredible glue. I like to think it's the ultimate get-out clause. When all else has failed, you can still go, oh, look at me.
Well, you see, I always imagine I would, you know, be with some kind of Russian film director or something like that, somebody intensely depressed but interesting.
Yeah.
I've just got somebody intensely depressed. Instead of a Jewish comedian. I think I thought, you know, in a rather adolescent way that I would go the arty route, but very pleased that I ended up.
Well done. Well done for getting any bloke at all. Do you think it's harder to be funny when you're beautiful?
Well, if it is, then I've got the toughest job in the world. No, of course it's more difficult. The audience doesn't want to laugh. They just want to bask in your beauty.
I think if everything is coming to you and you've woken up and you're 12 years old with long, gorgeous legs and perfect breasts and a fabulous look, and men are falling at your feet, you don't have to do anything. It's the same principle they say great-looking people are lousy in bed. Because they don't have to do anything.
That's a fact.
You've never heard? Oh, I hope it is.
Yeah, I hope it is too.
What sort of man do you think would want me, Don?
Well,
Slim, vibrant lady. In your mid-20s with a lust for life and a flexible spine. Look, Don. Can you help me up, please, Don? I just need a bit of
Men are
support.
horny. And it's hard to stand up there and be, you know, be beautiful and deliver jokes and actually have an opinion when men are just thinking, show us your tits, you know? Because you know they're not listening. When men are thinking, you know, you as a sexual being, they're not listening. They just are looking at, they got you bent over in different positions in their mind. They don't hear a thing. And also, we don't want women sitting in the audience looking at us, judging us, going, look at her. She thinks she's cute. She's up there, got all these guys looking at her. She just wants attention. Just look at her, you know. So you have to make them feel comfortable, too. So you have to say, look, no, I'm just a comedian. I'm just up here doing jokes. Just listen.
No threat.
No threat. Yeah, I don't want your man. I'm just up here, you know, just give me a chance, you know. So I think we have to go through that.
We're not horrible, beastly, ugly people, but we're certainly not their specific one thing they're looking for. Right. Effable, which is very important to people for some reason in Hollywood, that women be fuckable.
And if they're going to be funny.
If they're going to be
Because that takes
funny.
the threatening edge away, doesn't it?
But there's not a whole lot of, you know, but even then, it's not like you're going to find tons of beautifully fuckable women that are hilariously funny either. I mean, I think there's a reason why we're funny, and part of that reason is that we weren't the, you know, ideal of beauty.
Right.
Other women, comedians, don't respect you so much if you're a pretty girl. You know, that's a big deal, too.
Wow, that's interesting. Why is that?
It's just that idea that you can't be funny and pretty.
Well, you are. So, you know, there's the answer right there.
I think I get exempt because I'm racially different.
Oh, okay, you have special cards.
So I have a special, like, allowance, like, oh, well, it's okay because...
You're in the express lane.
She's chinky.
I feel that when people are confident, they are beautiful. And when they are confident and funny, you can't top that when it comes to beauty.
Well, you're more secure than I am. I think you can top beauty as long as you've got a great plastic surgeon. I know beauty is inside, all that, right. But nobody ever asked Margaret Thatcher to dance ahead of Julia Roberts. If they were both standing there, I think Julia would be asked to tango first.
But are you still waiting to be asked to dance then, Joan?
I am still waiting to be asked to dance.
I'm going to ask you to dance in a minute. We are going to dance before we finish this.
It's a funny thing that all of the major female comics want to be beautiful. Tony Fields gave her life trying to be beautiful.
Really?
It killed her. She had a facelift against surgeons' advice, and she died. Look at Joan Rivers. She goes every 2 years and says, do it.
Yeah.
She's addicted. And, of course, it was a big deal with me. But, you see, inside these funny girls is a desire to be Queen of the May.
Yeah.
But if they only knew it's so much better to be the funny lady on the block.
More chat and a good old laugh with Dawn and the girls at the same time next week. Craig Ferguson and Jane Horrocks star in film comedy Born Romantic, next on BBC One.